Hey, hello everybody. Hope the apocalypse is treating you well. Um, what we're going to do today is going to show you a list, the latest variation on a list I've been building and working on. If you're familiar with the Italian Clone Wars tournament, this is kind of what that list is meant to be, but one interaction was backwards in that list. Engineering teams and repair crews should not be on the same ships. And B, that list, if you look at the fleet list, has enhanced armaments. The reason why it has enhanced armaments, I built it in Warlords. I looked at the picture rather than the card. Oh, it's the box turret. That list has enhanced armaments. It should have LTT. Because, yeah. Um, with Clone Wars, it's interesting. I'm definitely relearning a lot of stuff. Um, Acclimators, I just are not good at flying them right now. I played against people who have just destroyed me with them, and I have thrown them away. Um, uh, Consulars are as fantastic as I thought they'd be. Absolutely fantastic. When you can flak a squad melee and then do a 180 at speed 4 around that to be ready to flak them next turn, it's a thing of beauty. Munificence are a weird one. They either live a lot through everything or they die in seconds, but they do a lot more damage than I initially looking at the ship thought they would do. And hard cells are just, their token suite is fantastic. Their upgrade suite is bananas once the Separatists get some more officers that actually do something. Like, yeah, I'm loving the hard cells. So anyway, I've been playing a lot. I've been losing a lot. And like, all going to be losing a lot. And going, why did I do something so stupid? It's so obvious. Be obvious until you've played it. The main thing is don't be too hard on yourself. But what we are going to do today is we're just going to build because we've got no requests and obviously for the Clone Wars just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a Separatist fleet. So what I found with the Separatist squadrons, I'm not good enough to use them right now. So we're going to include no squadrons. So the core of this is going to be 2 Munificence. We're going to go with Kraken simply because Dooku is interesting. Some days he's strong, and some days he runs into Bale or Tarkin or Garm, and he just goes, "Sad evil Sith Lord." Um, a lot of people are putting surprise attack in their lists as well, and everybody's like, "Oh, if you can never take the red." Eh, if you're in a Clone Wars only tournament, build to take that red, I think. Because surprise attack can be, it wouldn't always be the auto avoid if you're built to avoid it. Then we're going to add LTTs, non-enhanced armaments. You can see how I get confused. Boxes that have lasers on them. Looking at the other options like H9s, like the individual pools are not big enough for those modifications. Enhanced armament can be okay. Swivel mount, I mean, look at this thing. It's got a double click at speed 2. Why would you reduce a pool? It makes no sense. I tried it. I did try it. Um, and just the Link Turbo Laser turrets are just value. Maybe QBTs if you're trying to proc a blue crit, but then you're trying to proc a blue crit. You've got no gunnery teams. Got really no blue rerolls. You could do something fancy with Kraken, but like I think it's just Kraken. Just consider him consistent damage. Uh, that's why I'm finding great value out of him. Okay, and then the entire thing of this list: projection experts. Projection experts on everything, like everything, like literally every single thing. As I check my notes because I'm an idiot. So yeah, then we want Wat Tambor, and we want a T-Series tactical droid. And we're building these in tandem just because the unique cards are getting split among. And then we'll add a Sal Nator. This one can lead the charge. And then we can add a Tide of Progress. Okay, it's cheap enough titles, they add survivability. Whoever gets hit can get projection experts. And then we're going to do something silly. We're going to go 3 hard cells with projection experts. So the idea here is you've got your LTTs and your salvos and all that to deal with. Yes, we have started recording. You can freak out so easily when. Anyway, I digress. So 3 hard cells, all with projection experts. Because why not? Then we definitely want a 4-man's labor because 5 for a cut price Major Derlin. Yeah, I'll take that. And then we want a Beast of Burden. It's cheap. It can work out. Well, okay, it's not that cheap. But like giving back a salvo or a brace to a munificent or even the 4-man's labor at just the right time. Okay, then 4-man's labor is the one that's going to be running in there. So then we give it a slicer tools. We give it parts resupply because it enables the shenanigans. And it's like a cheap comms net for everybody all in one go. You want kind of the Beast of Burden going in the middle, so we probably don't want the Beast of Burden to have that. We want the Beast of Burden to have a comms net, and then we'll give the parts resupply to the generic hard cell number 3. So here the idea with squads is we take the punch and then we flak them to death. We have a small bid, so against fleets that are 1 second, we can go no, or we can, on fleets that are kind of, it's on the high side of a low bid to my mind. So somebody who's easy either way, you get to pick. Against somebody who's going to go first, you're designed to take the punch. Okay, so then let's look at objectives. So advanced gunnery again, the double arc is so easy. Blockade run, you're a lot of speed too. Kind of bunching everybody up is fine, because you're passing those shields around. But yeah. By the way, I did play around with. I played around with the thing that does the thing. Repair crews, but they do not work with projection experts, as somebody pointed out to me. So you probably don't want them. Close range intel scan is fine, but those dust fields could bite you in the bum. Ion storm, it's okay. It's not the worst. Free repair tokens. Or you're going to be repairing anyway, But I think most wanted, like here you can hide the most wanted ship. I know it's not a flotilla, but you can hide it on your generic one. You're throwing loads of little dice pools. Those dice pools build up on their biggest ship. You murder their biggest ship. Or their admiral ship if they're MSU. Whatever you think yourself. Now, again, consulting with my notes. Again, we're so rusty. So, asteroid tactics. Now, asteroid tactics is risky, like there's Lando and stuff, but to be honest, I think you'll get more out of it. Because even Lando, like if he has to come in and fight Exergarts and Salvo and LTT, then I think you'll be doing well. You could take Capture the VIP as well for just taking those points and going, well, you've got to kill my ship, you want them back, and forcing them to attack a Munificent or Hard Cell, depending on what you think. Like your tip of the spear is a Munificent and what you call it, and 4-man's labor. But again, wherever they hit, you're projecting your projector experting back. Contested outpost, like this is the thing. You're slow, but you're also quite maneuverable. Fire lanes, you don't have strategic fleet ambush. No fleet in being, you don't have enough command. Hyperspace assault I've thought about repeatedly, and it's, while funny, that ship is unsupported. So if they can find a way to concentrate on it, the theme of the fleet kind of falls apart. With the right positioning, though, it's hard to get that focus on it, so I drift back and forth. Jamming barrier, your long range firepower, I don't think you really want it. Planetary ion cannons, eh, it's just meh as always. And rift ambush, again, it's dust fields, and I feel like dust fields is, it takes away something from the Munificence firepower. Okay, then blue. So dangerous territory, grand. Doom station, maybe okay. Hyperspace migration, we've got a lot of ships, that can hang out and space whale. Infested fields, taking the damage. Intel sweep, you should be okay, but if you come up against strategic, you're in problems. Minefields is just a bit too risky, and I think you want to actually be able to move around a little bit as well. Like most of the time you can move along in convoy and just take damage, but occasionally you'll want to break out, and minefields might end up costing you. Navigational hazards, we've spoken about this in our last video series. It's just a waste of yours and your opponent's time most of the time. Salvage run could be good. Sensor net could be okay. Solar Corona, maybe. Superior positions, just no. Volatile deposits, though, is the one. Because, like, you've lots of little piles of dice, and if you've got Kraken going, you can be doing it each and every time. So for that reason, our vote in this Oscars goes to volatile deposits. Anyway, so this is a little separatist fleet you can try out. It's all about passing around the shields, passing around repair tokens, and just making your ships, making your opponent have to spend, and spend to kill a ship. All the while you're not doing too much damage, but you're doing damage, and you're doing some more damage, and then some more damage, and then they're spending their brace, and then you're taking a little bit more damage. And like, one thing I would say, particularly if you're fighting Clone Wars only, you want Kraken or you want Clone Gunners. Think you need that little bit of dice fixing in there. Because they do not have much, particularly the Separatist side. But anyway, hopefully this has been insightful. The amount of content I could point you at someone, but like, just throw a stone at a bush and you'll hit a content creator. You've got All Fighters Follow Me. You've got All Fighters Follow Me. You've got Steel Strategy. You've got Karnak is going to be coming with more Star Wars Explained once his rules updates are done on the Karm. You've got, I think it's Eric Kingsley I mentioned the other day, when I mentioned, in fact, somebody else by mistake. You've got Brace for Impact. You've got Ion Radio. You've got, of course, fantastic Master of the Fleet being back. Yes, you just got loads. So, whatever takes your fancy. There was somebody else that I meant to mention. Yeah, so for sites and getting your knowledge up to date at the moment, basically Steel Strategy and Cannot Get Your Ship Out, they have articles all over the place. And I wanted to mention another one, which I will link. So I played a lovely opponent by the name of Cadet VW. So they have a site called Sector 47. So I'll link that down below, and you can see what an early version of this list did when it was flown like a moron. This is the moron. Um, so you can see the early iteration in the battle report there if you look for the Clone Wars Round 1. Tournaments, if you want to watch tournaments. Max TTS finished. That didn't have quite all the new rules, so you can ignore it. The Clone Wars Vassal Tournament has begun, which is Clone Wars only. The Italian TTS tournament has begun, and the World Cup will be in January. So we're still waiting final dates, I think, for that. But there are tournaments everywhere. LTD, I think, who's also got some YouTube stuff, is running crazy random tournaments where he just pokes an Australian and goes, I want a tournament, and then there's a tournament on the Australian Discord. So yeah, and by the way, if it's TTS you're looking for, it's the Italians and the Australians, I think, are the most prolific with it. Fly Casual, how could I forget Fly Casual? Fly Casual are always streaming stuff. I know. Anyway, that's the content update. I will link a Fly Casual video in the end screen. Anyway, as always, the rules are, if you want a list, put it in the comment. If we have a lot of list build requests, it'll be like the most liked. And sure, if there's interest, we will continue to run season 2 of Build a List. And if not, sure, we might do something different. Hope you all keep well, look after yourselves, look after each other, and we'll talk to you soon.